The path of spiritual awakening is not one of ease or comfort, but a gradual and transformative journey of inner alchemy, a sacred dance between the seeker's soul and the cosmic currents of the divine. Within the vast canon of esoteric wisdom, few figures have illuminated this journey as profoundly as Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, co-founder of the Theosophical Society and author of The Secret Doctrine and Isis Unveiled. Blavatsky's teachings offer not just a roadmap to spiritual enlightenment, but a key to understanding the subtle processes of consciousness expansion and soul awakening. The 7 stages of spiritual awakening, as outlined in Blavatsky's teachings, act as milestones on the path of self-realization. These stages represent the unfolding of the soul's latent potential and the elevation of consciousness from mundane awareness to the sublime union with the divine. Blavatsky warned that spiritual evolution is not achieved through mere intellectual pursuit. It is a laborious and often painful process that requires ethical purification, the transcendence of the ego, and the cultivation of universal compassion. Let us delve deep into these 7 stages, revealing not only the inner dynamics of each, but also how to discern where you are on your own spiritual path. 1. Awakening to the spiritual path, the first glimmer of inner light. The first stage of spiritual awakening is akin to the first breath of a newborn. The soul, slumbering in the ignorance of material existence, begins to stir. This is the moment of recognition that there is more to life than the physical world and its transient pleasures. It is the dawning awareness that we are not simply bodies moving through time and space, but eternal souls, fragments of the infinite. This awakening often comes unbidden, as if called forth by some inner voice or cosmic rhythm. For some, it is triggered by a personal crisis, a deep yearning, or a sudden mystical experience. For others, it is the slow unfolding of curiosity, leading them to question the very nature of existence. Blavatsky referred to this stage as a turning point where the soul begins to seek higher truths and is no longer satisfied with the shallow waters of materialism. Here the individual begins to explore spiritual teachings, often feeling an inner pull toward esoteric knowledge and ancient wisdom. This sense of something more draws them toward the mysteries of the universe. How do you know you're in the first stage? You'll have a growing sense of discontent with the mundane world, along with a deep and often unexplainable curiosity about the nature of reality, the soul, and the cosmos. You'll also feel a sense of desire to seek out spiritual knowledge, whether through books, teachers, or personal reflection. You may also experience synchronicities or meaningful coincidences that seem to point toward a greater reality. 2. Purification and development of higher faculties. The alchemy of the soul. Once the initial spark of awakening occurs, the seeker must embark on a process of purification. This second stage is critical for the development of higher faculties. It is here that the spiritual aspirant begins to cleanse their mind, emotions, and body of the impurities that block their access to higher realms of consciousness. In Blavatsky's view, purification is not simply about physical health, but about shedding the illusions and attachments of the lower ego. Purification involves the disciplining of the mind and emotions, the cultivation of virtues such as patience, humility, and compassion, and the elimination of vices such as greed, anger, and pride. It is an arduous process, akin to the ancient practice of alchemy, where the lead of the lower self is transmuted into the gold of the higher self. As the individual purifies their being, they begin to develop their higher faculties of intuition, inner sight, and the capacity to perceive subtle energies. Blavatsky emphasized that these faculties are latent in all human beings, but they can only blossom when the individual has prepared themselves through ethical living and mental discipline. How to know you're in the second stage? There will be a growing awareness of your own weaknesses and a strong desire to overcome them. In addition, you will experience a shift in focus from external achievements to inner development and self-improvement, along with an increasing sensitivity to the thoughts and emotions of others, as well as to the energies of environments and situations. The second stage also brings the beginning of subtle psychic experiences, such as heightened intuition, vivid dreams, or the ability to sense unseen forces. 3. Study and assimilation of esoteric knowledge. The inner pilgrimage of spiritual awakening. With purification comes a natural thirst for deeper understanding. The third stage involves the seeker's active pursuit of esoteric knowledge, the hidden truths that lie beneath the surface of religious and philosophical teachings. Theosophical teaching instructs that the seeker must study not just to accumulate knowledge, but to assimilate it, allowing these truths to transform their consciousness. In this stage, the individual may be drawn to the study of sacred texts such as the Vedas, the Kabbalah, or Blavatsky's own secret doctrine. Yet, this is not a time for superficial reading. The seeker is called to meditate upon the deeper meanings of these teachings, using them as tools for self-realization. Blavatsky warned against the dangers of intellectual pride, which can arise when one mistakes knowledge for wisdom. True wisdom, she insisted, is a direct knowing that transcends the intellect and is born of inner experience. Thus, the seeker must balance their intellectual study with humility and the inner work of self-transformation. You will know that you are in the third stage when you develop a deep fascination with esoteric teachings and a hunger to understand the mysteries of life and the cosmos. You come to realize that spiritual truth cannot be found in dogma, but must be sought through personal experience and inner reflection. In addition, there will be a newfound ability to perceive hidden meanings in spiritual texts, symbols, and teachings, and a growing sense that the knowledge you are gaining is meant to transform your consciousness, not just satisfy your curiosity. 4. Practice of meditation and self-discipline. The path of the inner adept. As the seeker progresses in their understanding of esoteric knowledge, they naturally turn inward. The fourth stage is one of deepening meditation and self-discipline. It is here that the individual begins to actively cultivate a state of inner stillness and receptivity, allowing them to contact higher planes of consciousness. Blavatsky emphasized that meditation is not merely a technique, but a way of life. It is the practice of attuning one's mind and soul to the vibrations of the divine. In this stage, the aspirant learns to control their thoughts and emotions, bringing them into harmony with spiritual ideals. Self-discipline is also essential in this stage. The seeker must cultivate not only mental discipline but also physical discipline, learning to harmonize their body, mind, and spirit. Blavatsky often spoke of the need for the aspirant to develop willpower, for without it, the soul's progress can easily be derailed by the distractions of the lower self. Signs that you are in the fourth stage include a strong commitment to a daily practice of meditation or other forms of spiritual discipline, and a noticeable increase in your ability to concentrate and control your thoughts, along with a growing sense of inner peace and detachment from the fluctuations of external life. Lastly, you will begin to develop a sustainable willpower and self-control, as well as the ability to overcome inner obstacles. 5. Unfolding of psychic and spiritual powers, the awakening of the inner senses. As the seeker continues to purify themselves and deepen their meditation practice, they begin to experience the unfolding of psychic and spiritual powers. Blavatsky taught that these powers, such as clairvoyance, telepathy, and the ability to perceive subtle energies, are natural faculties of the soul. However, they remain dormant in most people due to the dominance of the lower ego and the distractions of the material world. The fifth stage is marked by the awakening of these inner senses. The individual begins to perceive realities beyond the physical plane, gaining insight into the workings of the astral and mental planes. But Blavatsky did warn that these powers must be approached with great caution. The development of psychic powers can easily lead to spiritual pride or distraction if the individual is not grounded in ethical living and humility. In this stage, the seeker learns to use their psychic abilities in service of their spiritual growth and the greater good. They begin to understand the interconnectedness of all life and to perceive the unity underlying the apparent diversity of the cosmos. You will know that you've reached this stage of spiritual awakening when you experience the awakening of the psychic abilities mentioned here, or the ability to sense subtle energies. You will also notice an increased sensitivity to the thoughts, emotions, and energies of others. A deepening awareness of the interconnectedness of all life and the underlying unity of the cosmos pervades your consciousness, along with a sense of responsibility to use your abilities for the greater good unlike you have ever experienced before. 6. Direct experience of higher planes of consciousness. The mystical union. The sixth stage is the culmination of the seeker's efforts in purification, study, and meditation. It is here that the individual begins to have direct experiences of higher planes of consciousness, often referred to as mystical experiences. In this stage, the boundaries between the self and the divine begin to dissolve, and the individual experiences a profound sense of unity with all life. Blavatsky spoke of this stage as the awakening of the higher self, the soul's true nature. The individual begins to experience states of consciousness that transcend the limitations of the physical and mental planes. These experiences may come in the form of visions, profound insights, or feelings of oneness with the cosmos. However, Blavatsky continues to warn that even in this stage, the seeker must remain vigilant. It is easy to become attached to these mystical experiences, mistaking them for the ultimate goal. The true goal, she insisted, is not to have mystical experiences, but to attain permanent union with the divine. How to know you're in the sixth stage? Get ready for the experience of profound mystical states, such as a sense of oneness with the universe or direct contact with higher planes of consciousness. Delight in a deep sense of inner peace, joy, and detachment from the concerns of the material world. You'll have a deep and abiding realization that your true self is not your physical body or personal identity, but a vast, eternal consciousness. You'll be in a constant state of compassion and love for all beings, as you begin to see the divine spark in everyone. 7. Union with the divine or cosmic consciousness, the final awakening. The seventh and final stage of spiritual awakening is the complete union with the divine or cosmic consciousness. In this stage, the individual has fully transcended the limitations of the ego and experiences themselves as one with the infinite. This is the state of enlightenment, or what Blavatsky referred to as the attainment of divine wisdom or gnosis. In this stage, the seeker no longer experiences themselves as a separate individual but as an expression of the divine. They have realized the ultimate truth, that all life is interconnected, and that the universe is a manifestation of a single, infinite consciousness. This realization brings with it a profound sense of peace, joy, and love. Blavatsky emphasized that this stage is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new level of existence. The individual who attains this state becomes a vessel for the divine, working selflessly for the benefit of all beings. They have realized the unity of all life and have become a true embodiment of cosmic consciousness. The seventh stage brings a complete dissolution of the personal ego and a sense of being one with the universe. You will begin to live in a profound and permanent state of inner peace, joy, and love with the sense of having attained ultimate wisdom or gnosis, and a deep understanding of the nature of reality. A desire to serve all beings selflessly, as an expression of the divine will, drives your every thought and action when you are in the seventh stage of spiritual awakening. In essence, the journey of spiritual awakening is a gradual process of inner transformation and expansion of consciousness. Each stage represents a deeper level of understanding and realization, leading ultimately to union with the divine. But know that this path is not a linear one. The seeker may move back and forth between stages, revisiting lessons and challenges as they progress. Blavatsky's teachings remind us that true spiritual progress involves more than just intellectual understanding. It requires ethical and moral development, the cultivation of universal compassion, and the transcendence of the personal ego. The path is long and often difficult, but the rewards are infinite. A deeper connection with the divine, the realization of the unity of all life, and the attainment of ultimate wisdom. As you reflect on these 7 stages of spiritual awakening, take a moment to consider, where are you on your own spiritual journey? What lessons are you learning? And how can you continue to grow and evolve? The path is always open, and the light of the divine is always shining and just waiting for you to take the next step.